Greetings, adventurers. Today was a big day for Wizards of the Coast on their Unearthed Arcana site, where beta testing of new ideas happens. They dropped a big one on us. It is called Heroes of Krynn, a new race / species, whatever, a new sorcerer subclass, a couple of new backgrounds, and several new feats, all based on Krynn, aka Dragonlance. This is kind of huge. So the first one, this is the species / race Kender. Before I get into the mechanics of this, let me give you some background on Kender. So Kender are a type of halfling that are native to Krynn. They are fearless. They are impulsive. They were little kleptomaniacs who would just accumulate all the items from everybody else's pockets without even knowing or realizing it. They were like these innocent, childlike things that were also the most disruptive race ever played in Dungeons & Dragons. So many players played a Kender and then used it as a reason to be stealing from the rest of the party or just be the proverbial cat knocking stuff off the table. Just obnoxious. And a lot of DMs use them as a weapon against the players. You'd roll up in some town and some Kender would, surround you and then wander off. And then next thing you know, oh, sorry, all your stuff's been stolen and you have no idea which one of them it was. And, they're so cute you can't do anything about it. So haha. Just awful things. And a lot of people played him because, hey, Tasselhoff Burrfoot, the character in the Dragonlance Chronicles, was such a great character. A lot of people just hate to see this thing come back. Cutesy little thieving little so-and-sos. Okay, but the 5th edition mechanics thereof. Creature type, you are a humanoid. You are small. Your walking speed is 30 foot. Brave, you have advantage on saving throws versus fear to avoid or end the frightened condition on yourself. Sounds pretty familiar. Kender Ace, starting at 3rd level, you possess a magical... Wait, it's not thieving, it's just magic? Okay. Ability to pull an item out of a bag or other container as a bonus action. You can reach into a container you're carrying and roll on the Kender Ace's table to determine what item you pull out. The object glimmers softly and disappears after 1 hour. You can use this ability as a bonus action a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Okay, so that means they can use it 2 to 5 times a day. It's magical in nature instead of being sort of a steely thieving thing. The table you roll on, that has precedence. In 1st edition, it was a percentile table, and you had a chance of magic items. You had a chance of mostly stuff you would find in a child's pockets. A shiny rock or a feather or a coin or a, thing like that, or a broken bell or a toy. It's different. We got a D6 table. Okay, D6. 1, you get 5 D6 gold pieces, so you can buy something and then the money disappears out of the other person's pocket. 2, one simple weapon of your choice that has the light property, so any small weapon could be handy. 3, one item of your choice from the adventuring gear table in the player's handbook. The item must cost no more than 1 gold piece and weigh no more than a pound, so a bag of marbles or something. 1 random item from the trinkets table from the player's handbook. Mostly worthless junk, but okay. Something neat. 5, your choice of a crowbar or a grappling hook. That's useful. Good. 6, one item of your choice from the tools table in the player's handbook. The item must cost no more than 10 gold pieces. Okay, pull out random stuff. It's very much a rogue. That's going to be the class for this thing. And then pretty much exclusively. Taunt. You have a supernatural ability. Again, supernatural / magical. All right. Ability to home in on the creature's Emotional raw nerves and craft a taunt that flusters that creature. As a bonus action, you can unleash a barrage of insults at a creature within 60 feet of you that can hear and understand you. That's kind of important. Something has to understand you. You don't want to be insulted by what you say, which, if you look at certain bard abilities, that they don't require it. Oh, I just cast the spell to insult something, and this inanimate object isn't so insulted. The golem or the skeleton or the zombie is insulted for damage. That was kind of BS that was thrown into the bard spell list, but okay. The target must succeed on a wisdom save. DC 8 plus proficiency bonus plus charisma modifier, so any sorcerer, stuff, whatever. Or it has disadvantage on attack rolls till the start of your next turn. Okay. That is not bad. That's actually not bad. The creature is not compelled to attack you or compelled to attack the target of your choice. They're not mind controlled. They're just annoyed and distracted. You can use this bonus action a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, 2 to 5. And you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Mechanically, it's not bad. The problem with the Kender is going to be how people play them. If they play them according to all the cliches of every Kender ever played in previous editions and do it in the 5th, it's going to suck. It's going to be a miserable thing to add to a table. New sorcerer subclass. This is what impresses me. This is what has me interested. Lunar magic. On many worlds, the moon is a revered celestial body with magical properties. On Krynn, the gods of magic are associated with the world's 3 moons. On Toril, the god Saloon uses the light of the moon to battle darkness. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. So, first level lunar magic feature. You can call down the radiant light of the moon on command. You learn the Sacred Flame spell, which causes radiant damage, which does not count against the number of sorcerer cantrips you know. And when you cast a spell, you can target 1 creature as normal or 2 creatures within range that are within 5 feet of each other. That's not bad. That's not bad. You get a free cantrip, and it's a little bit boosted. Sacred Flame, is that 1 target only? Or 2? Anyway. Okay. So it's at least Sacred Flame. Okay, first level feature, Lunar Embodiment. You learn additional spells. There are 3 spell lists: full moon spells, new moon spells, crescent moon spells, fairy fire, dissonant whispers, sanctuary, moonbeam, darkness, blindness and deafness, phantom steed, death ward, freedom of movement, Navard's black tentacles, hallucinatory terrain, mass cure wounds, dream, and mislead. I mean, those are some decent spells. You know, you get 1/3 of those depending on which phase of the moon you align yourself with. And it is you aligning yourself with which lunar phase manifests its power through you, as opposed to the phases of the moon thing from first edition Dragonlance, where the DM had to have a table of 30 days and where are the moons in relation to the world, and your magic kind of ebbs and wanes and flows and waxes and changes every day for 30 days. You don't know how you're going to cast exactly until you look at the chart. Are you going to be at a benefit and better than usual or worse than usual on the chart? No, this is just you pick a phase that you feel, and that affects which set of spells you have as your bonus spells. Each cast a spell in this way. You can't do so in the long rest. So it's a couple of freebie once-a-day spells. Okay, 6th level, Lunar Boon. Full Moon is Abjuration and Conjuration spell. New Moon, Evocation and Necromancy. Crescent Moon is Divination and Transmutation spell. So when you pick which phase of the moon you go with, which is your lunar zodiac, essentially, when you use meta magic on a spell from one of the ones on this table. So pick 2 types of spells, and when you use meta magic on those 2 schools of magic, you can reduce the sorcery points spent by 1, minimum 0. You can reduce the sorcery points spent for your meta magic a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So, let's say you pick New Moon, Evocation, and Necromancy. 2 to 5 times a day, depending on what your proficiency bonus is, your lightning bolt or whatever is cast at Empowered, let's say, for free, 2 to 5 times a day. That's pretty good. Granted, that's only 2 to 5 times a day. Otherwise, this would be absolutely ridiculous. That's pretty decent. 6th level feature. As a bonus action, you can spend a sorcery point to change your lunar phase for a different one. So if one of these setups is not working for you, just swap it out on the fly. Cool. 14th level feature. Okay. When the power of a lunar phase saturates your being, you get a particular benefit. Full moon, you can shed bright light in a 10-foot radius, and 10 feet beyond that of dim light. In addition, you and creatures of your choice have advantage on saves versus anything while within the bright light you shed. This does not necessarily say how long that lasts. New moon, you have advantage on stealth checks. Cool, you're 14th level already, and you have an advantage on stealth checks. New moons when you get to cast darkness anyway. Crescent Moon, resistance to necrotic and radiant damage. I guess that is for the entire day. Nice. Lunar Phenomenon. Your lunar phase magic bursts. As a bonus action, you can tap into a special power of the lunar phase you are currently in. Special things like Radiant Intense Moonlight. Each creature of your choice within 30 feet must make a con save or be blinded till the end of its next turn. In addition, one creature of your choice regains 3d8 hit points. Nice. A little minor heal. And blind your attackers. New Moon. You momentarily emanate an oppressive gloom. 3d10 necrotic damage to those of your choice. And you become invisible till the end of your next turn. Crescent Moon, you slip through the light and darkness, magically teleport to an unoccupied space you can see within 60 feet of yourself. In addition, you also gain resistance to all damage until the end of your next turn. Once you use this bonus action, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest or spend 5 sorcery points to use it again. Granted, you're level 18, so you have plenty of points, but okay. Lunar Magic is a decent-looking subclass for sorcerers. I would definitely give this a try. I would download the PDF just for that. The backgrounds thing gets interesting. So, the 2 new backgrounds, or just forgive me for the pronunciation, I might screw this up. Knight of Solamnia. Solamnia. You're one of the Knights of Krynn. Okay, you take that as your background. 2 proficiencies, a tool proficiency, 2 skill proficiencies, a tool proficiency, a bonus language of your choice, a little bit of equipment, and it is suggested you pick a martial class for this. You're a knight, you should be a fighter-ish type, possibly a war cleric, maybe a bard of College of Valor or College of Swords. Okay, so warrior-ish. So you become a Knight of Solamnia. And this gives you the This gives you, anyway, it gives you access to the Squire. Where's the Squire? Apologies already for having lost this. Oh, here it is. The Squire's Lemonade. So, it also gives you martial training proficiency with medium armor and martial weapons. That's already included in most of your martial classes. Defensive Rider, you have advantage to saving throws made to avoid falling off a mount. That is very unlikely to be forced upon you. You don't see a lot of mounted combat in D&D, and so advantage on saves to avoid falling off your mount. Pretty rare. Encouraging Rally, a creature you can see within 30 feet of you makes a saving throw. You can use your reaction to inspire them. If they can hear you and understand you, it gains advantage on the saving throw. Once you use this reaction, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. That's decent. That's nice. Once a day, being able to give somebody advantage on a save. Once they've... Yeah. But we're talking about something that comes from a background. Things that come from a background usually aren't very huge. However, if you take the background of being a Knight of Solemnia, then there are some feats that are available only if you are level 4 and a Knight of Solemnia. If you are level 4 and the Knight, then you may choose from the following feats. Knight of the Crown, Knight of the Sword, Knight of the Rose. That should be familiar to you if you've been reading a lot of Dragonlance novels. You can only pick one. They are exclusive of each other. And you get things like, for Knight of the Sword, proficiency in Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma saving throws, your choice of one when you take the feat. And Willpower, after you or a creature you can see within 30 feet of you fails one of those saving throws, you can expend a hit die. So that costs you. Expend one of your healing hit die for roll it. Add that number to their failed save, and if that's enough, then they make it. You can only do this once every long rest. Knight of the Rose, you are aligned with a group known for leadership, justice, and wisdom. When you roll initiative, you can choose up to 3 other creatures within 30 feet of you. And each of those gains temporary hit points equal to a roll of your hit die plus proficiency bonus plus the ability modifier of the ability score increased by this feat. You get an ability score increase of 1 to your choice of Charisma or Constitution. So, interesting. So, temporary hit points you're giving people. Knight of the Crown. That's a group that extols cooperation, loyalty, and obedience. Increase your strength or dex by 1 to a minimum of 20. When a creature you can see within 30 feet of you makes an attack roll against another creature within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to grant advantage to the attack roll. Hey, you, good job. You get advantage on that. Go hit that guy. You can use that a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus and regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Very cool. Very cool. If you want to play a knight, a Dragonlance type Knight of Solemnia, there it is. There it is. I would tack that onto a fighter or a paladin, but you could find something else. The war cleric, maybe. Not into bards. Sorry. However, they did the Mage of High Sorcery background. You get proficiencies in Arcana and History, 2 languages of your choice, minor bit of gear. You get a feature called Initiative High Sorcery, which gives you your choice of a cantrip and a first level spell, in addition to the normal spells you get at a first level. Not bad. So, we remember from, there's the furnace, we remember from Dragonlance that the white, red, and black robe mages were aligned upon alignment. Good and neutral and evil. These feats open up at 4th level. Adept of the red robes, Adept of the black robes, Adept of the white robes. The Adept of the red robes, it's a feat available at 4th level. Requires high sorcery initiate background /feat. as a prerequisite. It's got some prerequisites. Adept of the Red Robes. Pick a second level spell of your choice, and that must be a divination or transmutation school. You can cast this without a spell slot and do so once a day. Okay, cool. And if you make an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw, roll a 9 or lower on the die, you can use your reaction to balance fate and treat the roll as a 10. Similar to the reliable expertise or reliable talent from the rogue. You can use this reaction a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus and regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Not bad. Adept of the Black Robes, prerequisite 4th level, high sorcery initiate feat. Any non-good alignment. So you don't have to be evil to be Black Robes, but it helps. Or neutral. Necromancy, figure, evocation / necromancy, and an ability to deal with a life channeling thing, which, you know, basically pull health from other things, other people. As you attack them, you drain their abilities of life. And where was this? Adept of the White Robes. Okay, protective magic, abjuration or conjuration bonus. You can be any non-evil alignment to be White Robes. But still, you pick your robe color at 4th level, and it is somewhat alignment dependent. Thank you for bringing alignment back into mattering in D&D. Protective ward. When a creature you can see within 30 feet takes damage, use your reaction to expend a spell slot and weave protective magic around the target. Roll a number d4 is equal to the level of spell slot expended. Yike. Put the spell slot you want into it. And reduce the damage the target takes by that total rolled on those dice, plus your spell casting ability modifier. That's cool. That's cool. Doesn't say how many times you get to use it, but you are burning up spell slots doing it, so there is your limitation. Doesn't say you can do it a number of times per day based on proficiency modifier of 2 to 5. Not bad. Not bad. I'm looking at all these things, and what I would pull out of it is I would use the Lunar Magic Sorcerer. Not sure I would bother with the Initiative High Sorcery. It kind of has to make sense for your game world that there is some kind of a school of magic existing. You're looking at a medium to high magic campaign, but it's doable. It's doable. You can kind of hand wave a little bit of that. The Knights of the Sword, Rose, and Crown, solid. I like it, and I gotta say, this is not a bad Unearthed Arcana. These are not a bad set of rules to come in. I hate the Kender, still do, but that's because of how they're played, not necessarily because of the mechanics involved. Word of warning / disclaimer. Okay. First, this is all playtest material from the internet. Wizards of the Coast is going to listen to feedback. They are most likely going to change this severely before it goes into a printed book. It also might never make it into a printed book. There is no guarantee that a 5th edition version of Dragonlance is going to be printed. Don't wait for it. Don't hold your breath for it. Could happen. But if you want to play Dragonlance in a 5th edition game, grab an earlier edition's campaign setting. I have the 1st edition one over on the bookshelf. And then just use that campaign setting, use your 5th edition player's handbook, monster manual, DM's guide, and this PDF, and just run it that way. Don't wait for them to do it. Just do your own. I believe that Dragonlance made it all the way into 3rd edition. If that was your gig, go for it. Grab the campaign setting. Remember, maps and place names are system agnostic. Screw it. Use it. Do it. I'm going to give a copy of this to a friend I know who's a huge Dragonlance fan. And I may be making up a character using the sorcerer of the Lunar persuasion sometime very soon. That's my impressions of this. DM Kurt, out.